What's going on, everyone? Is back again with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys my All-Star ballot. Obviously the All-Star game, well, we're about a month away pretty much from the actual game and all the festivities taking place. So it's getting pretty exciting. You can vote on the All-Star ballot right now. It lasts to the June 22nd, so we got about like 12 days left. And then we got that phase 2 voting the starters. So I'm going to show you guys who I'm going to pick for my All-Star ballot. You can obviously sort through, A and Z. You can go off average. You can go home runs, RBIs, and OPS. I'm probably going to stick to the average and the RBIs. Just because I think those are the most impactful stats when you look at actual best hitters across the league. So if you look at some of these categories, you can see, some of the top guys up here from the AL and NL side. And it goes down to all the positions. So pretty much whoever you pick is going to have their position. As I said, the player with the most votes in their position will start. So that's pretty much how it works. You kind of vote anyone in. So if I'm going to go over the first base position, there's obviously a lot of good first basemen right here with the likes of Matt Olson. Freddie Freeman's been having a really good year. Christian Walker, Spencer Steer having kind of underrated years in my opinion. But if I had to choose a first baseman, I'd probably pick Freddie Freeman. I mean, he just got the stats. I mean, he's got the highest batting average as a first baseman. He's got one of the third most RBIs, really good OPS as well. I think he's leading if you go to OPS as well, so he's almost leading in every category. So I got to go with Freddie Freeman, have an absolutely insane year. If you go to the first base side, over here, there's a lot of good ones. I think Yandy Diaz is definitely high up on my list because he's kind of similar. He's got the best stats, as a first baseman, with the good average, the home runs, the RBIs, and OPS. So those will be my first two first basemen. Let's go on to second base now, who I think's been the best second baseman pretty much all year. I mean, Marcus Semien, 100% on that list. I mean, he's been insanely good all year, with the 50 ribbies, which, I think is one of the most ribbies in any player in the league right now. So he's definitely up there on that list, playing really well, having a bounce back season compared to last year. So yeah, for the National League, it's got to be Luis Arias. I mean, compared to everyone else, I mean, he's got the most amount of hits between any third baseman. He's definitely been the best. So definitely got to go with him. I mean, second baseman, my bad. I don't know why I said third. We're on to third base now. So definitely, I think this is a solid list so far. We're going to go over the third baseman, who I think is definitely there. It's funny how Max Muncy has the most RBIs, but one of the worst averages in the third base. So if we look down, scroll, we have some really good guys. My opinion, though, I probably want to go with Austin Riley on this one, just because I think he's been one of the most consistent. You could go with J.D. Davis too, but I'm going to stick with Austin Riley. I just think he's got one of those, really good potential players, in my opinion, even though his stats, maybe don't show. I think he's a really good player as well, a really smart player. Next over here in the American League side for third base, got a lot of good guys over here, but it is hard to choose. I mean, Matt Chapman's been having a really good year as well, so we could look to a guy like that. Probably there's a couple good guys. I mean, Suarez you could go with. You can go with Alex Bregman. Then we go with John Jun, though, from the Texas Rangers, having a really good season over there, which he doesn't really get noticed that much in my personal opinion. So we go to shortstop. I mean, you look at Bo Bichette, I think is a really good shout. I mean, my probably other one would be Corey Seager. I'm going to go with Bo, though, just because he's a really good player and has all that potential right there. Let's keep it going as we go to shortstop in the National League. A lot of good shortstops over here as well. We obviously got Dansby Swanson having a really good season. I do like the guys like, Bogarts having an okay year. Turner, really bad year compared to his standards. So, I don't know. I think the shortstop's kind of hard, because none of them are really hitting insanely well, except for a couple guys. I think I'm going to go with Geraldo Perdomo on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think he's the most competent shortstop, compared to the most hits he has, decent amount of RBIs for the shortstop position, underrated player as well. So I do like to see that as we go into that. Now we got catcher for the American and National League. I mean, there's a lot of good catchers, I think, in this position. I mean, Helm has probably been the best catcher in the American League, and a lot of people are probably gonna vote Adley Rutschman. I think I gotta go with Helm though. Just absolutely insane. I do have a lot of Texas Rangers players, but they are the best team. So, I mean, what can you say to that? Catcher in the National League, I think Sean Murphy and Will Smith, and even Elias Diaz not having a bad season over there for that position. So I think it's got to be between one of them three. There's a couple other good catchers. I think Yam Gomes is having actually a pretty good hitting season for once. If you look at his stats, I mean, you can say the same thing about JT Realmuto, but I think overall I'm probably gonna have to go with Elias Diaz from the Colorado Rockies. I mean, you know, he's in a tough team. He's putting up some good numbers, some good RBIs, some good home runs. So I think I'm gonna have to go with him. Now we get to choose 3 outfielders from each side. So obviously the biggest category, because there's so many outfielders in the league that you could potentially go with. I think you got to go with a guy like Aaron Judge for your first pick. You know, absolutely insane season he's having. You know, almost one of the home run leaders. He's already got 40 RBIs this season. And he's playing really well. His average almost at 300 as well. So really good pick, I think, to go with. I think for my second pick, it's a hard one, but I think I have to go with Garcia from the Texas Rangers once again. I mean, the amount of 52 RBIs is insane. 15 home runs is insane. Almost batting 270 is really good as well. So I think I have to go with him. It's up to 2 for the last pick. You have Alvarez and Rosarena. I think some really good guys as well. Even Josh Loud you could probably throw in there as well. You know, batting 300 with almost 40 RBIs and 11 home runs. I think I'm gonna go with him, Josh Loud. Now, I don't think he's gonna get too many picks compared to Rosarena or Alvarez. But once again, been putting up a really good season over there in the Rays camp. So got to go with him for my AL outfielders. Let's go over to the NL now. So obviously, once again, a ton of talent right here. First pick for me is definitely have to go with Gurriel from the Diamondbacks. Having a really good season, 310 with 35 RBIs and a really good OPS. Really good in my opinion. Just going to have to go with him for my pick. If we look over to the next guy, probably have to go with Nick Castellanos from the Philadelphia Phillies. 36 RBIs, batting 314. Really good season overall for him. So definitely have to go with a guy like that. And then for my last pick, there's a lot of good options, but I think Acuna is a really good shout, as well as Corbin Carroll to make that list. But I think, no denying, Acuna is just really good. You know, with the steals he's getting, the average, the RBIs, the amount of impact he's having on that Braves roster, I think got to get an all-star pick for me. Next, we have designated hitter. Now, there's a lot of designated hitters. I mean, Ohtani's definitely going to be up there. I think Ohtani will probably win this category, so that's why I'm not really going to vote for him, because, you know, I think he'll probably get in as a pitcher anyways. I think underrated player, Brent Rooker from the Oakland Athletics. I mean, you look at Brent Rooker's year, you know, batting 263, not terrible, 12 home runs, 36 RBIs. You know, it's not a terrible season for the team that he is on. You know, when you look at the A's, I mean, they got 12 wins, so it's kind of a hard season. If he's on a better team, he probably does better. Probably will get traded after the All-Star game if he does get in my opinion. So that's who I'm going to pick for my designated hitter. I do think Ohtani will get in as a hitter, or will get in as a pitcher or the designated hitter spot. So don't really need to really feel the vote him. Next category, let's go to the NL DH. I think a lot of guys can be up here. JD Martinez having a really good season with the LA Dodgers. Like to see that. Joey Mendez obviously here with the Nationals, having a really good season as well. So I'm probably going to have to go to JD Martinez. I think he's having a little bit better season than Mendez. You know, he's only behind in like 15 points on the average, but he's got like double the RBIs and double the home runs and the OPS. So I'm going to have to go with JD Martinez. So this is my roster. If you look at our American League side, my first baseman is Yandy Diaz from the Tampa Bay Rays. Go to second base, we have Marcus Semien from the Rangers. Third base, we have Josh Jung from the Texas Rangers. My shortstop, Bo Bichette from the Toronto Blue Jays. Catcher, we have John Helm from the Texas Rangers. Outfield, we have Luis Garcia from the Texas Rangers. And then we have Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees, Josh Loud from the Tampa Bay Rays, and then my designated hitter is Brent Rooker from the Oakland Athletics. In the National League, I have Freddie Freeman for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I have second baseman Luis Ariz from the Miami Marlins. I have third baseman Austin Riley from the Atlanta Braves. My shortstop is Herdaldo Perdomo from the Arizona Diamondbacks. My catcher is Elias Diaz from the Colorado Rockies. My outfield is Nick Castellanos from the Philadelphia Phillies. I have Luis Gurriel Jr. from the Arizona Diamondbacks. I have Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Atlanta Braves. And then for my designated hitter, I have JD Martinez from the Los Angeles Dodgers. So pretty stacked lineups, I think, in my opinion. I kind of did go Texas heavy, you know, in my All-Star voting. I didn't even realize that, but hey, those guys are putting up numbers, and they're a really good squad. So that's what I could say. The NL looking really good. I got a lot of diversity of teams and players on here that I think are really good. So I got a couple wild card picks with Brent Rooker and Diaz, I think, from kind of you consider the bad teams in the league. So that's who I got in my All-Star voting. Let me know who you guys got in your All-Star voting down below in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.